Having grown up a few miles away from the Chicago stockyards, you get kind of used to the fact that, you get the daily reports on the number of cows and pigs and sheep that were slaughtered. In fact, that was the big news in the early afternoon, because the economy depended upon that trade. And it was always interesting because you hear stories about the various things that do happen. My father was a butcher, and he basically worked with the beef. And he was one of the butchers who would help slaughter the beef. So you kind of get an idea of what's going on. And of course, we knew we lived near the stockyards because if it was hot and humid and the wind was blowing in a certain direction, even though we were miles away, you could still know that the stockyards were there. In fact, if you go into that area today, there are certain days that you can still smell, even after years and years of having had them closed. Well, anyway, as the sheep are basically dumb animals. They will do anything and go anywhere. They're easily scared, they'll run, they'll do all kinds of things. So when it came time to slaughter, in order to get them into the slaughterhouse, they would put a goat to lead them. And the goat would lead them down the chute to the slaughter room, except the goat would go one way and the sheep would go another way. The gate would close, the sheep would go another way. That's where we get the name scapegoat, because he would lead the sheep, but he would get free. He or she would get free. So it kind of, if you look at sheep, they really need to be taken care of. And that's what Ezekiel is talking about today. You people, he's talking to the people around him. You have all this money, you have all these resources, and yet you don't take care of the people who have nothing. The ones who are uneducated, the poor and the widows and the orphans, and those who do not have the ability, those who are physically and mentally ill. You don't do anything for them. So they're like a sheep without a shepherd. There's no one to guide them, there's no one to lead them. And he calls them out on it and says, start doing your job. Take care of those who have less than you. Also take care of those who are the same level as you. Because no matter how rich or poor we are, we all need other people. And he really chastises them and calls them to task. Again, like Sunday's gospel, he speaks truth to power, and they didn't like it. So, as usual, they try to get rid of him. That's what you do when people speak truth to power. But then we have the comforting words of the psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. We always know that no matter how we are treated, that the Lord is always with us and reminds us that we're never alone. Even though the people in Ezekiel's time had deserted, the Lord will never desert us. So as a result, we take comfort in that. But it's also a call that each and every one of us should make sure that all people are taken care of. No one is left behind. And instead of being led to slaughter, we should lead to green pastures.
Thank you for joining us for the celebration of the Mass today. It's a blessing that you are with us. Every broadcast of this liturgy goes out to hundreds of people and hundreds of people all over the world. It's been an enormous blessing. If you'd like to support this virtual ministry of OLPH, please go to our website. You can support this ministry by going to Give Central so that we can continue to broadcast the liturgy each and every week. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Greetings from OLPH.